Hey everybody, welcome to Fortunate Creations. I'm Kim and this is another episode of Stash Busters. So today I'm going to call this one Practice, Practice, Practice because I'm going to show you a way to bust your stash and get better at your stitches. I have here just below the camera a pile of swatches of all different stitches that I have learned, and I now have them in my stitch library. So are you ready? Let's do this. Okay, first one. This is the bubble drop. So here is a bubble drop stitch. You can see that the bubbles drop down one. I love it. And this is a 4-row repeat. And it's done with a chain of 6. Hopefully I'm going to have that amount of information on all of these, but I've been doing these for over a couple years now, so they might change a little bit. But so there we go, bubble stitch. This one is the double trinity stitch. It's a 1-row repeat and it's done any even number. Look at that. That is such a pretty stitch. Very nice. And it is the double trinity stitch. Love it. Okay. I can't tell you what yarn I'm using on these because it's all scraps and I've been doing it for a couple of years. So bear with me on that. All right, here is the alpine stitch. It's a 4-row repeat and it's done with any odd number of stitches. Again, really nice. Nice stitch. This would be a great hat, a great scarf, a great headband. Let's see both sides of it. This is nice. Some of the yarn that I used wasn't the best because it's just scrap, but obviously if I were to make a wearable, I'd make softer yarn. All right, what's next? Here we've got just a regular dishcloth stitch. Okay, it's a 2-row repeat. There's both sides of it, and it is done in any multiple of 2. Now, any of these stitches that you want to look up or want to learn how to do, just go on YouTube and type in the name of the stitch and you're going to find it. More than likely, it's going to be a bag-o-day tutorial because that's where 99.9% of these I learned. So credit where credit's due. 99% of these are from Crystal at Bag-O-Day. So if you just type in dishcloth stitch or any of the stitch names, you're going to find a tutorial for that. I will put a link to her channel down below. All right, what's next? Oh, I really like this one. This is the banner stitch. It's a 2-row repeat and it's done in a multiple of 4 plus 3. I really like that. I like how it has texture to it. And even the back is pretty. So I really like that. Okay, what do we got here? This is the chain link. It's a 4-row repeat and it's done. Yeah, I really like this one. It's done in a chain of 6 plus 3. So any multiple of 6, and then once you get as long as you want it, you add 3, and it really does look like a chain link fence. I love this stitch. I'm glad I'm going through these because I forgot some of these stitches and I really do like them. So I think I'm going to create myself some sort of display so I can just look over and see my stitches, and then for my next project, I'll be like, hey, I want to try that stitch. All right. What is this one? This is the extended treble. This is one I actually made up myself. And it would be great for like a shopping bag or something like that because it's nice and airy. It works up quickly. It covers a lot of ground in a little bit of time. So that one is a variation, the big bottom treble. So I also made up where you can see here how I connected the bases of the trebles and made it a big bottom treble. Just a little play on the stitches. All right, and that's also a good thing. As you're practicing your stitches, you can go ahead and try to make up new ones. Try to find variations of them. Try to do things that, a little bit out of the ordinary. So this is a single ribbed stitch. This can be It's a 1 row repeat, and it can be any count of chain, any count stitches. So you don't have to worry about odd or even or how many you start with. What do we got here? This is the Crochet Blossom. It's a 2 row repeat, and it's done in any count of 14 plus 2. I love this stitch. That's really pretty. Really a pretty stitch, even on both sides. I like both sides of it. So see if I can get that to focus. There we go. So it's really pretty. Here's one. It is called the Double Crochet Herringbone. Any count, you can do it with any count, and it is a 1 row repeat. Very nice stitch. Again, I actually made a poncho out of this, so again, it's a really nice stitch and it's versatile. But one of my favorite ponchos I did in this stitch, actually in this yarn as well. What's this one? Hoping my pile doesn't topple down. This one is the Paris stitch. It's a 1 row repeat, and it's done in a count of 3 plus 2. So your initial chain has to be any count of 3 plus 2. Fun stitch. This one would make a really pretty wrap or shawl or a throw. Let's take off the top here. Don't fall. Sit still. Okay, this one here is the Thicket stitch. It's done with any even number of stitches, and it's a 1 row repeat. You're going to notice that I am a big fan of the 1 and 2 row repeats, because once they get longer than that, I tend to lose count of what row I'm on. So I try to make it a 1 or 2 row repeat for my stitches. Here we go. Primrose stitch. It's a 2 row repeat, and it's a multiple of 3. There's one side, and there's the other. So this is the primrose. And again, I'm showing you all these just to show that you can have yourself a library of stitches, practice them yourself, make the swatches, and then when you're looking for something, look over at your library and be like, oh yeah, I can use that stitch. It's a great way to bust the stash, and it's a great way to get in some good practice. So this is the dragon stitch. Not one of my favorites. Just to let you know, I struggled with this one. That's why the swatch is so small. It's a 2 row repeat, and it's any 8 plus 2 count. It really is pretty, but I struggled with it. So not one of my favorites, but it's still in there, and you got to practice the ones you don't like just as much as the ones you do like, right? If I remember correctly, yes, this one is the ball gown stitch, and I really like this one. If you look closely, the stitch itself looks like it's shaped like a pretty ball gown. You can see it better in person, but it really is a sweet, this would be great for a baby blanket, a baby sweater, anything like that. It's a 2 row repeat, and it's any even count. Sit still. Okay. This one of my all-time favorites. It's called the block stitch. It's any 4 plus 1 for the chain, and it's a 2 row repeat. But look at that. That is so pretty. Of course I got, there we go. Look at that. I just love how this works. This would be a beautiful sweater, poncho. I love this. All right, what do we got here? This is the extended single. You can do this with any number of stitches, and it is a 1 row repeat. It's kind of like a single, but a little bit more. Good way to practice your tension and getting your stitches, your spacing right. So love this. Great for a dishcloth as well. All right, this one's pretty. Look at that. It is called Mining for Diamonds. Now you can see, if you look close enough, you'll see the diamonds in there. Okay. How cool is that? I like it. It was an easy stitch to do. It is a 4 row repeat, so that was kind of testing my memory a little bit, and it's done in any 10 plus 3 count. They tulip stitch. 1 row repeat. It starts, or it's done with a count of 4 plus 2. And here is how it looks. Love it. And you know, sometimes the yarn you use it makes all the difference, right? Sometimes stitches are better with certain yarns than they are with others. Now this one I had a blast doing. This is the loop stitch. I really had fun doing this one. It's called the double loop. It's a 2 row repeat and you can do it with any number. So there's the front. It looks like a shag rug, like from the 80s. That's why I chose these colors. And the back looks like that. It's really a fun stitch to do. It's a yarn eater, so use it in one of the yarns you have a lot of stash in. That's my advice to you. This one looks like a lot like the other one I did with this yarn, but this is called the waffle stitch. And the waffle stitch is done in a count of 3. So any chain you start would be a chain of 3, and it is a 1 row repeat. You know I like those. Kind of cool with this yarn too, right? Okay, what do we got going on here? This is the 3D puff stitch. I'm going to hold it this way so you can see that it is puffy. Okay, then you can see it this way. Red does not show up really great. Here we go. Red doesn't show up really great on this, but you can see it puffs right up. And I love it. This would be cute for a doll dress or even a baby dress, something like that. It's just, it's got the frilly feel to it. Okay, interlocking fan. It's a 2 row repeat and it's done any count of 10 plus 2. And if I pull it apart like that, you can see the interlocking fans. I really enjoy doing this stitch. Stitches that look really complicated but are really easy are my favorite because you get the wow factor without burning your brain out. So here's the prairie stitch, a 2 row repeat, and it's done with any even number. I did do a baby sweater in this, and it's really a pretty stitch. Really nice. Now this one, the stocked brick, okay? This was another one I struggled with. It's an 8 row repeat. So, and it's done with a count of 8 plus 2. It's beautiful when you get it done. It really is. But I did struggle with it. I really like it though. Think of a blanket where this is the border, like a 2 rows of this is the border. That would be really pretty. I really like that. We're looking at, this is the half double, my favorite stitch in the whole wide world. It's a 1 row repeat. You can do it with any number of stitches. Absolutely hands down favorite stitch in the whole world. I don't know why. It just comes right off my hook nice and easy. I love it. And this one here is the tipped scales stitch. It's a 1 row repeat. It's fun. It's a bulky stitch. Like there's thickness to it. I really do like it. And again, the yarn makes all the difference in some of these. I can't wait to hang these up. This is going to be fun. All right, we have here the puff vine stitch. It's 1 row repeat and it's done in a 6 plus 5. Isn't that fun? I really like it. It's the same on both sides, which is really neat. I like it. It's a fun stitch to do. Again, 1 row repeat, so it's really super simple. This is the star stitch. Yes, this is the star stitch. The star stitch is a 2 row repeat and it's done with any even number. So you can see the little stars in there. This one takes a little bit longer, but it's worth it once you get it all made up. I like it. What do we got here? The double thermal. So it's a 1 row repeat and it doesn't matter. You can start with any number. Oh, wait, I am wrong. This is the bud stitch. This fell off on something else. This is the bud stitch. And again, it's a 1 row repeat and it's any odd number. Sorry about that. So there's that, the bud stitch. Hey, bud. I don't know where this one came off of. And on this one we have the Glover, Glover. It's a 1 row repeat and it's done with any even number. And I really like it. It looks like it's the same on both sides. I really do like it. This is a beautiful stitch. This would make a really nice cardigan, a thick, warm cardigan. It is the drop sedge stitch, S-E-D-G-E, sedge. 1 row repeat, and it's done with a count of 3 plus 2. Look at that. Look at that. How it looks. I absolutely love that stitch. There we go. Double split single. What? And you can tell, look, you can see I was just practicing. Look at my tension. I have the same number of stitches on here as I do here, but I loosened up. So you can see that way back then I was practicing and I still needed practice. But the double split single is a count of 3 plus 2, and it is a 1 row repeat. Really nice. Got a couple more. Here is my first attempt at a corner to corner, and this is the corner to corner moss stitch. I still need some practice on my corner to corners. So this moss stitch is done. It's a 1 row repeat, and you start with just one, so there's no specific count. Any number of stitches will do. This one is my mystery stitch. I made this up and I don't know what to call it, so there it is. It's pretty and I like it, but I didn't know what to call it. It was a 1 row repeat, any even number. And if I were to have to reproduce this, I'm not sure I could. It looks almost like a moss stitch, but I did it just a little bit different per stitch. So there's my mystery stitch. Here's the treble stitch, just a straight up practicing the treble. Again, you can see, look at my tension. Super tight on the chain row, super loose on the other row. I needed to practice, and I have been. It's a 1 row repeat, and it's any even number. And I got 2 left. So this one here is just the single crochet. There it is, nice and simple, single crochet as we know it and love it. And last but not least is the 3D V-stitch. This one was fun. And you can see where it lives up to its name because you're popping out the V's. And it's really a pretty stitch. So there you go. This version of Stash Busters, practice, practice, practice. Make yourself a stitch library. You've got enough scrap yarn. Make the swatches all different sizes. If you enjoy the stitch, make it bigger. If you're struggling with the stitch, keep practicing. Pull it out and keep doing it. So there's your stash busting tip for today. Practice, practice, practice. Remember, always be happy, be kind, and be creative. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Thank you.